What is going on, my lords and ladies, and welcome Mr. InfernoKun back inside of Game of Thrones for a discussion. I had a bunch of requests for topics. I'll get to those as soon as possible, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about this one right now because it is a pretty important one because it can affect both sides of the story. Okay, so yeah, Gwyn Whitehill, the former lover of Asher Forrester, and the whole reason why he was exiled in the first place. What is going to happen between her and Asher, or even Rodrik? Let's start with Asher being dead and Rodrik alive. So obviously we have to confront her, or at least confront the people of House Whitehill, and her being there too. She could be like, where's Asher? Thought he was coming to, come and help you out. And then responding by, he's dead, murdered by your brother. And she could be sad about that because she did ask about him, so maybe she still might have feelings for him at least. I mean, they kind of got separated forcefully because of, the houses not being okay with that. So I wonder if Gwyn and Asher feel the same about each other, or just feel like, oh, things happened in the past, what of it? That could be the case, but, making it more interesting for her to get mad over, what Griff did to Asher. I mean, obviously she wanted nobody from House Forrester to pay anymore because, she wanted them to go ahead and, give up to make sure no one dies. But seeing as how, Asher died, that kind of makes me wonder, she went through all this trouble to go ahead and betray her father to come secretly meet with Rodrik and tell them House Whitehill's plans. And all of that, and Asher still ends up dying. So I wonder how she'll feel about that, and if she would kind of retaliate against her father for what they did to Asher, and stuff that happened then and there. So I wonder how that will work out for at least Asher being dead and Rodrik being alive. So let's go on to the more interesting part here. We have Asher being alive and Rodrik being dead. Now, yeah, Asher and Gwyn could interact, maybe talk a little bit. Obviously the Whitehills just killed Rodrik, so Asher isn't going to be too happy with Gwyn and her family. Now, this all goes back to the past whenever Asher and Gwyn were in love, so they obviously might still have feelings for one another. And I wonder how that will play out in episode 6. Meeting Gwyn Whitehill after years of being exiled, and for that exact reason, them being lovers is why he got exiled in the first place. So that makes for a very interesting conversation between Asher and Gwyn. And if we had a choice to go ahead and try to kill Lud and kill Griff, I could imagine that Gwyn would kind of be begging Asher to stop, and it would kind of hit Asher a bit harder because Asher loved this woman and she still loves her family. Her family is just a bit messed up. So you see where this goes. Now, I think that in episode 6, if House Forrester were to make peace with House Whitehill, then what if Asher and Gwyn were to get married? Because House Forrester does need a lady Forrester. So what if we were to marry Gwyn Whitehill? I doubt it would be a choice, but would you guys marry Gwyn Whitehill if given the option? I'm not sure because, she did kind of help us out by telling us the plans. So if it were okay, if it was oh, everything's good, I would consider marrying Gwyn Whitehill. Why not? I mean, she isn't as messed up as her whole family is. She isn't tormenting the Forresters like Lud or even Griff Whitehill. She's okay. The rest of them aren't. So I would definitely kind of consider maybe marrying Gwyn Whitehill to be our Lady Forrester. That would be kind of, cool, I guess. Not really sure. So would you guys marry Gwyn Whitehill? I'm not sure. I would, maybe. So it could be a good option, or it could be a bad option. But anyways, yeah, so those are the options that we have. Basically Asher being alive and Rodrik being dead, and then having Asher interact with Gwyn Whitehill because they're former lovers, and then having Asher being dead and Rodrik alive, and then having it interact with Gwyn Whitehill, and then she hears about Asher being dead by the hands of her brother's men. That could be a thing. Now tell me what you guys think about either sides of the field, with Rodrik being alive or Asher being alive, interacting with Gwyn Whitehill, and how it will play out with, one of the other being dead also. that could be some big changes between Rodrik interacting with her and Asher interacting with her because of, you know, how different the characters are and their paths being very different. And that's something that I hope will be fleshed out in episode 6, The Ice Dragon. So comment down below what you guys think about Gwyn Whitehill. Is she cool to you? She's definitely a cool character to me because she isn't, you know, she just born in the wrong house. I mean, she's a Whitehill. That's not her fault. You know, the rest of her family's pretty much awful, but you know, she's the gem in the Whitehill family. But Lud and Griff, they aren't. They're horrible people. So, what do you guys think about Gwyn Whitehill? Comment down below. Thank y'all for watching. It's been InfernoKun with my discussion about Gwyn Whitehill. Like it if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe for more. It helps out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching. It's been InfernoKun, and remember, iron from ice.